Everywhere the three of us go, while we're in America, people say to us, "We love your accent. Where are you from?"
27 Mile and Romeo Plank.
"Oh, really? Where are you from?"
Approximately 30 miles north of London.
"Oh, London. I have a friend called John Smith. Do you know him?"
Seriously, we have been asked that.
London alone is home to approximately 8.6 million people, while Michigan has less than 10 million people in the whole state. There are approximately 63.5 million people in the UK, which would fit into the state of Michigan with room to spare. So, no, we don't think we know the right John Smith.
We're also having a lot of fun teaching Jill a new way of life. We've often been asked, even by people who are with us here today, how is life different between the UK and the US? We thought for a bit of fun, we'd highlight some of the differences, particularly as we hope Jill eventually live here more than she does now.
In the UK, there are no skunks, chipmunks, raccoons, bears, groundhogs, porcupines, possums, bluebirds, or red cardinals, to name but a few.
But the English robins are a lot smaller than the American ones, about the size of a sparrow. Another difference is that blackbirds in England are all black. Here they have red racing stripes.
We have a queen, you have a president.
Must tell you, we sometimes have amusing conversations, as people frequently mention the royal family to us. In particular, Kate Middleton and Prince William. We have great fun seeing people's reactions when we tell them that Jill's maiden name was Middleton. Seriously, it was Middleton. We have been asked if we went to the royal wedding.
Many of you have enjoyed the fun of hearing Keith translate what Mum is saying.
I think I sum it up accurately when I say we are divided by a common language. We hope you'll enjoy the following.
Let's talk cars and driving first.
The biggest thing is that we drive on the opposite side of the road, so consequently sit on the other side of the car.
So Jill frequently takes the scenic route as we're going out, as she heads for the UK passenger door, which is in fact the driver's door of the car here. She's doing quite well adapting, bearing in mind she's driven on the other side for 48 years. My wife has even braved Hall Road and even ventured out on her own and done a Michigan left.
What's the big deal? I did 3 of those yesterday.
She didn't intend to.
Yeah, but you're just a young pup.
Well, we drive on the road and walk on the pavement.
But here we drive on the pavement and walk on the sidewalk.
The traffic lights are different. In the UK, the sequence is red, then red and amber, before it changes to green.
There are no turns on red, and certainly no Michigan lefts, but as we are used to thousands of roundabouts everywhere we go, we know what we're doing on them.
Is Gordon still here? Gordon left?
Yes.
I was going to suggest Gordon have a ground school for the flying club to teach people what to do on roundabouts. Because we run into an awful lot of people who don't know.
We have great fun with the terminology with our cars and our driving.
Boot,
Trunk,
Wing,
fender,
bonnet,
hood,
gear lever,
shifter,
handbrake,
emergency brake,
indicator,
turn signals,
petrol,
gas,
windscreen,
windshield,
brake lights,
stoplights,
hazard lights,
four-ways,
estate car,
wagon,
dual carriageway.
divided highway,
motorway.
freeway. That's just a few.
Things in and around our home are different. Zoe loves regular updates on what we've done in the house, as it changes almost daily. But she's getting quite good knowing the English version of my description of things. If in England, we'd be holding this wedding on an English front garden.
No, it's in our front yard.
But in the UK, a yard is a small paved area.
And a garden is where you plant vegetables.
No, that's a vegetable garden.
A cushion goes on a sofa.
Wake up, James.
Yeah, I've got to turn the wrong page here. Yeah, no, that's a pillow. There we go.
But beds have pillows.
Loo or downstairs cloakroom or WC.
Is a washroom, restroom or bathroom.
Utility room.
Laundry room.
Two-seater sofa.
Love seat.
Stool or buffet.
Is an ottoman.
But an English ottoman is usually a long box and it's what sheets and blankets are stored in.
Cooker.
Stove.
Dustmen collect our rubbish.
Garbage collectors pick up the trash.
Even the beds are a different size, which has caused us problems, as a lot of things travel back and forth between our two houses. We bought a new duvet in England, then found we couldn't buy a duvet cover as the sizes did not match up.
UK king bed.
It's a 5-foot queen.
A UK Super King.
Is a 6-foot king.
English single is 3 foot.
But it's a twin here at 3'3".
We turn lights on by pressing the switch down.
Here in the US, it's usually up.
Bath.
It's a tub. All the window treatments or drapes that Jill brought here from the UK, they're called curtains.
English drain pipes are US downspouts.
And eaves troughs are called gutters.
Dave lives in a flat,
Apartment,
and like Lone Oak has a block of letterboxes.
mailboxes.
But most UK houses have their own letterbox in the front door. The mail is delivered to each house by a postman, in most cases walking round the streets, and the mail drops onto the floor in the hall.
Foyer.
But if we want to send something, we have to go out somewhere and find a post box, not just put it in our own mailbox and raise a flag for it to be collected.
Shopping has caused us a lot of laughs. Jill gets in the queue, which we all know is the lineup. She pays at the till, we call it a register.
As for coupons, that blows me away. We occasionally, very occasionally, get a money off coupon in the UK, whereas here we have seen people with boxes full of them.
I remember I found Jill a few years ago trying to ask a Walmart associate
Sales assistant.
where the cutlery was. She had never heard of the terminology flatware. The associate wasn't the brightest, even when Jill was miming eating with a knife and fork.
Nappies,
Diapers,
Pushchair.
stroller,
spectacles or glasses,
eyeglasses.
In the world of picture framing, a mount is called a mat.
propelling pencil,
It's a mechanical pencil.
Braces for teeth.
Are retainers. But English long pants
trousers,
are held up by braces. The braces here are suspenders.
But I wear stockings and they are held up by suspenders. Tights?
Pantyhose?
So what are stockings?
Not sure. For her cross stitch, Jill buys lots of embroidery floss.
Stranded cotton. Batting for my quilts is called wadding in England.
dummy for a baby,
Is a pacifier. A mobile phone is a cell.
But I used to teach in a men's prison and the men lived in a cell. We had fun in England once when Keith went to B&Q, that's a smaller version of Home Depot,
They're picking on me again.
and asked for some lumber. Blank looks. So he said, timber.
Eventually, we intervened and said, wood.
True story, damn it. One day when in the UK, I asked another shopper if they would like my shopping cart. At the end of my shopping, I'd emptied it, I was done with it. I could not understand why they all looked blankly at me. Jill then explained they're called trolleys, and no one understood my accent.
That's a huge difference in the UK. You rarely see trolleys
Carts,
abandoned in the car park.
parking lot.
They're all returned to the corral, maybe because we have to put a £1 coin in to release them, and then consequently get it back when finished.
Talking of supermarkets makes us think of food.
UK biscuits are US cookies, but there isn't really an equivalent to American biscuits in the UK.
But we have scones, you don't have those.
I remember English afternoon tea with scones, jam,
Jelly,
and double Devon clotted cream.
roast turkey and stuffing.
Dressing.
But dressing's what you put on salads.
But Americans have no idea what Yorkshire pudding is, that we enjoy with roast beef or turkey, and I can't possibly describe it here.
The first time I went to Subway, they asked me if I wanted chips, but they gave me a bag of crisps. Chips in England are French fries here.
Breakfast and eating out in the UK is also different. We have no Tim Hortons, Romeo Family Restaurant, Benny's or Apple Orchard Inn on Van Dyke.
Thank goodness for that. Don't ever go there, it's awful.
If we want breakfast out, we have to wait mainly for such as the garden centre restaurants to open at 9 a.m. Our garden centres here have indoor and outdoor plants, often large gift shops and full restaurants.
Breakfast is fried egg, occasionally scrambled. No choice of sunny side up, over well or over easy. Lovely meaty bacon, sausages, mushrooms, cooked tomatoes,
Tomatoes.
baked beans, fried bread and dry toast.
That wasn't in the script, but never mind. In the UK, I have never seen them butter the toast for you, or sugar the coffee.
We eat out a lot more here as it's so cheap in comparison. The two of us can have lunch here for the cost of a coffee break in the UK.
If we want a speedy lunch, if we're busy, we'll go to the local fish and chip shop. There is nowhere in the world that does fish coated in batter and deep fried like England.
The nearest McDonald's to me in the UK is about 3 miles away. We do not have nearly as many drive-thrus. In fact, the nearest Burger King drive-thru is approximately 15 miles from my home.
Speaking of drive-thrus, they don't have drive-thru pharmacies or ATMs. But we do, but I get rather concerned when I see the braille buttons on the ATMs at the drive-thru.
We also have great fun with chocolate bars. In the UK, there are Mars bars and Milky Way. But here, a Milky Way is vaguely like a Mars. But then Three Musketeers are like a UK Milky Way.
But Twix is almost the same, except the chocolate coating is different.
Many items here are also a lot cheaper. For example, a KitchenAid mixer is about $700 in the UK, but you can buy it here for around $350 or less.
No, wait a minute. I'm not there. Oh, Jill usually flies business class. We need some light up here. With British Airways, which allows her 3 suitcases in both directions.
It never ceases.
I'm okay.
It never ceases to amuse friends on both sides of the... Oh, that's wonderful. On both sides of the Atlantic, what travels in my luggage.
Last year, she took back a very heavy KitchenAid mixer with ice cream maker, a vacuum cleaner, a complete irrigation system for her backyard. Oh, and a transformer to run them all. I should know as I picked her up from the airport.
Fantastic. We've got
As
lights
well
that
as
turn
lots
on
of
here.
quilting fabric as it's
We need that.
loads cheaper here.
Mum only has a room full of it in the UK.
And then some. Sewing area here in the basement is actually about half the size of her entire house in her 4-bedroom home in the UK. And basements are virtually non-existent over there.
I have brought to the US pillows, cushions, duvets, curtains,
Drapes.
framed and unframed pictures, handmade king-size bed quilts. My biggest challenge was transporting a full 10-place setting of a bone china dinner, tea and coffee set, and not one piece was broken.
Yeah, really.
Some of the quilts were then returned to the UK when they had been long unquilted.
Some measurements are different. An American ton is £2,000. In England, it's £2,240.
And you don't have such as a stone, thank you, which is £14.
16 fluid ounces to an American pint, but 20 fluid ounces to an English pint.
There's your bed.
Can cause havoc with recipes. Let's hope she got it right in the desserts for today.
Probably the most embarrassing thing Jill has ever done in public was ask me out loud to buy her a rubber. She actually meant an eraser.
You see, we are divided by a common language. Pronunciations are different.
As Lou will tell you, I call it the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
To name just a few: garage,
Garage,
Tomato.
tomato,
debris,
debris,
Status.
status,
route.
route. Jill tries very hard to get it right while she's here. As the weeks go by in her trip, she gets more Americanized.
But when she gets home, she starts asking them to hold the bacon in a restaurant. And they don't realise that she doesn't want any bacon in her club sandwich. She can't get the lights to work as the switch is upside down. And she asked me if I've seen her cell phone instead of a mobile.
Bear with her, folks. She's trying to acclimatise and fit in. We can guarantee she will never lose her accent.
Keith hasn't in almost 40 years since leaving England.
But hopefully people will keep telling us they love our accents and asking, where are you from?
27 Mile and Romeo Blank.
Plug the lights in, Dave.
Okay. We ask her for a